Barry Bryson here. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. We're in chapter 10, verses 9 through 15. I think these are the worst, the toughest verses of the whole book. And then they're followed by God's tender love that he remembers. Um, so um, there, there's a necessary sexual dimension to this book because, in a covenantal way, they are the unfaithful spouse, and to God, and the people are collectively, and Hosea has had to live that in marrying a prostitute, losing her again to prostitution, and then going and buying her back. But there's also a necessary sexual dimension of it because they have been idolatrous against God by pursuing a fertility cult in which their women have actually served as prostitutes, temple prostitutes, and the men have gone to those women. And then, so we've had prostitution mentioned a lot, concubinage and prostitution mentioned a lot in this book. And we've already been taken back to Gibeah, to Baal Peor, and the fornication with the Moabite women back during the wilderness wanderings, but to Gibeah on the day of the Judges, and that awful, awful event in the last chapters of the book of Judges that begins with the gang rape of the Levite's concubine, and then her death, her dismemberment, and then the genocide against the Benjamites, and then the kidnapping of an entire population of young women to try to repopulate the tribe of Benjamin. Um, that whole awful event is recalled again here, and it's just a jumble of awfulness, and it's about to happen to them, not metaphorically but literally. From the days of Gibeah you have sinned, O Israel. There they stand. Will not the battle against the sons of iniquity overtake them in Gibeah? What is my desire? I will chastise them, and the peoples will be gathered against them when they are bound for their double guilt. I just want to stop there. They are both the prostitute and the rapists. That's their double guilt. I mean, that's literally what God is saying. Um, you are those men who did that to that Levite's concubine, and you're also the harlot who has played the harlot with foreign gods, and you are doubly guilty, and you are going to be punished for it. Ephraim is a trained heifer that loves to thresh, but I will come over her fair neck with a yoke. I will harness Ephraim. Judah will plow. Jacob will harrow for himself. Sow with a view to righteousness, reap in accordance with kindness, break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord until he comes to rain righteousness on you. So Judah, so the northern kingdom, Israel, if you have heifers that you're going to train to pull a plow, um, but one of them, instead of trying to plow and do something productive, wants to trample down the grain. That's the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom still has hope, and God will rain. Baal is the god of the storm and brings rain. I bring rain. I will rain righteousness on you. But the northern kingdom, you've plowed wickedness, you've reaped injustice, you have eaten the fruit of lies, because you have trusted in your way, in your numerous warriors, because you think your military might will protect you. And therefore a tumult will arise among your people. All your fortresses will be destroyed. Al Shalman destroyed Beth Arbel on the day of battle, when mothers were dashed in pieces with their children. Thus it will be done to you at Bethel because of your great wickedness. At dawn, the kings of Israel will completely be cut off. Um, we don't know what happened at Beth Arbel other than what happened here, what we're told here. But Shalman seems to be Shalmaneser. Uh, if there were Shalmaneser the fifth will be the Assyrian king when the northern kingdom is invaded. But this could have been one of his predecessors and something that happened, some military atrocity that happened someplace else. But the atrocity that's being described is clear. Um, we read multiple times in the Old Testament about children being dashed to pieces. And what that describes is a practice in ancient times of a conquering army who wanted to commit genocide or just maybe get rid of the male population or something, would take children and they would grab children by the ankles and then swing them like a ball bat and smash their heads against the wall and kill them that way quickly. And what happened at Beth Arbel is that in addition to this happening to the children, after the women had all been raped, um, they were dashed to pieces as well. And God says, this is what's going to happen to you. And he even gives the king's name. This is what's going to happen to you. When the sun comes up at dawn, the king of Israel will be completely cut off. This is like the darkest part of judgment and anger and rage. And then in chapter 11, verse 1, we get love. And God saying, I'm not going to do all the bad things I just said. I can't. But we'll get there next time. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.